maybe like 5 to 10 minutes, give you guys an update on what all the latest immigration news is that's taking place at the airports. I've gotten like hundreds of messages and I can't respond to all the messages, so I'm just going to try to explain to everybody who's checking me out right now what exactly is the latest immigration information that we have about, what's happening at the airports. Is it okay for you to travel? Should you travel? When should you travel? And also, anything else that you guys may want to talk about as well. So really, that's kind of like the main thing that this live is going to be about, to cover, what the issues are for people traveling, looking to travel, because I'm sure you've kind of seen in the news about people, let's say if you're coming into the United States, immigration is going through your phone, they're going through your laptops, they're going through different, whatever you may have on in terms of electronic devices. So let's start off talking about that first, because I know that people are kind of concerned about people going through immigration, going through a phone. So if you guys are watching this, like it and share it with somebody else, because I'm starting now. It's Eastern time around 6, 10, 12 or so, and I'm going to do this for the next hour. So maybe you have a friend or somebody else who could benefit from this live as well. And you can ask questions. I'll try to answer the questions as well. But, let me just talk about in the first 5-10 minutes now, and then I'll do it again at 7 p.m. in the first 5-10 minutes about like what the latest immigration updates are in terms of, at the airports. Okay, so let's start. First, the big thing is, if you're a citizen, don't worry about it. You should travel like you normally travel. Don't worry. Nobody's going to try to take your citizenship away at the airport, because a lot of people have been asking, like, oh my God, am I safe? Should I travel? I'm a United States citizen. Are they going to take my citizenship away? You're not going to lose your citizenship. They may ask you to go through your phone if they have, something that they want to talk to you about. As an American citizen, you can say, no, I don't want you to go through my phone. I'm fine with whatever it is that I have on my phone. Don't go through my phone. The big thing is really related to green card holders. I think those are the people that are worried the most in terms of what's going to happen to them at the airports. So I have seen, different reports. I've read a couple of posts where green card holders, because of criminal issues, actually were detained and arrested and placed. Maybe, we're going to see what's happening, but, sometimes they were held at the airport for a longer period of time as well. So if you're a green card holder and you want to travel, first kind of ask yourself, like, why am I traveling? What's the purpose? What are you trying to do? Okay, maybe you need to go on vacation, family, whatever it is, and so forth. Is it something you want to kind of hold off on traveling? The second thing is that, ask yourself, like, okay, is there any criminal issues? Are there any problems that you might have that would have immigration kind of, stop you from traveling or hold your case and so forth as well? So that's something to be concerned about. So don't, if you have any criminal issues, if you have some other types of issues, maybe you can reconsider traveling. Don't travel, okay? And I'm going to tell anybody with an open criminal case, do not travel at all right? If you have an open criminal case, do not travel. I don't care what kind of case it is. It's a violation, misdemeanor, felony, especially felony, do not travel. So don't travel, guys. All right. Second thing about green card holders, if you had an old old criminal case, that was closed, if you want to travel, make sure you keep documentation of like how it was closed, dismissed, and that talk to an attorney to make sure it's not a felony or an aggravated type of felony, because those are things that can actually end up causing you to lose your green card. Okay, so we don't want people to lose their green card if it's a felony or some multiple misdemeanors and so forth. All right, guys, really important. I'm going to say it again. If you're a green card holder with criminal issues, talk to an attorney before you travel, because there was a green card holder, I saw this in the news a couple of weeks ago. He was detained at the airport. He had some, misdemeanor crime in California more than 10 years ago, and they didn't let him in right away. Okay? So green card holders could be detained. They can't lose their green card at the airport, and don't sign anything if immigration puts a paper in front of your face. Don't sign anything. Okay, that's really really important. All right, guys. So that's important. And if you're watching, guys, I would appreciate if you could like and share. It really helps. See other people see this as well, and maybe it might benefit. Because I'm doing this because not everybody can afford an attorney, and a lot of people have a hard time, getting a lawyer or hiring a lawyer. So I'm doing this live to kind of answer questions, because so many people have called me and said, "Oh, I just want to ask you one question. Is it safe for me to travel? Yes or no?" And I tell them, "Hey, look, maybe I'm going to do a live and answer these questions." Okay, so try to share it and so forth. I would really appreciate it. I will answer questions about immigration law in general and what's happening overall. But right now, let me just cover this other area about green card holders traveling. All right. Okay. So now, as you know, I'm sure you've heard this in the news. I made a video. Immigration can go through your phone. Okay. If you're a green card holder, a visit visa, H-1B visa, student visa, they can go through your phone. All right. Now, you don't have to agree to it. But they may say, okay, open up your photos, open up your WhatsApp, open up your text messages, and if you don't want to agree to it, that's fine. You don't have to agree to it. But just remember that U.S. immigration may say, okay, well, we're going to hold you for a lot longer, because we're investigating you, or something else of that sort. So that's just something to kind of think about, if you're traveling into the United States and so forth. All right, guys. Now, what you have on your phone, you may say, hey, I have some private photos and I have some private messages for work or other things like that. You should kind of raise objections to that. What I've seen in the news is that there have been people who've had their visas canceled, because one was the doctor. They found some messages or maybe something that she was liking on X. There's another person that was a scientist that was critical of Trump, and I don't know what she said or did, and they canceled her visa, or they denied that scientist's visa into the United States. So, if you have something on your phone that's like, I think Donald Trump is a XYZ person, then obviously immigration, may at the border be like, what, maybe you're looking to hurt him, or maybe you're supporting, like some sort of violent action towards him, and maybe we may, deny you entry. Okay, so that's just something to be considerate. You don't have to agree with that, but at the airport, for non-U.S. citizens, there's less rights. Green card holders have less rights as well, and especially people on visit visas, they have less rights as well. It's not guaranteed. All right. Now, the big thing that I've always seen is that people who are on visit visas or other types of visas where they don't have a work permit, they'll go through their phone and they'll question them. Are you working? Are you working off the books? Are you doing anything? Because, if you don't have a work permit, you're not allowed to work. So those people on visit visas and so forth should be a little bit careful. All right. There's a lot of people asking me to join the live. I can answer your questions if you just ask the questions. It's really, hard to, join, do this live thing with other people. I can, just answer your questions, type in your questions. I promise I will answer your questions, and share it with friends and families. I'm going to go to the top and start answering questions now, and so forth. Okay, so let me kind of do that. And I'm going to be like going live on other places, like on our YouTube account, which is over there as well. And I'm going to try to like talk about, whatever questions there are. So if you have questions on another area, you can ask there as well. And I can kind of talk about that. All right, so let me just kind of answer the questions that people are asking. All right, so if you have questions, you can ask now. I'll try to answer them. People are asking any information about the Welcome Corps. No, the Welcome Corps is a program under Biden where they were going to let people come into America and take refugees, but Trump is not for refugees, so I hate to say it, that policy is really going to fall apart, because they're not going to have that Welcome Corps Welcome Corps policy anymore to allow people to come into the United States. So I'm sorry, it's just immigration is going to be really tough. You know, getting visas is going to be really tough and so forth. Okay. Somebody's asking a really good question. Can you stay longer than 6 months if you have a green card? Okay. So I made a video about this. You can stay outside if you have a green card for longer than 6 months. But I don't recommend it for a couple of reasons. If you stay outside for longer than 6 months, you're going to break your continuous residency requirement. Why is that important? Because when you apply for citizenship, you need to meet that continuous residency requirement. So don't risk it, guys. I know, like, you want to travel, you want to spend all this time doing whatever you're doing. You know, maybe you're older or you have parents that are green card holders and they want to spend more time outside the USA. I don't recommend it because it's gonna create problems for them if they want to do citizenship. Now, if they don't want to do citizenship, then that's another scenario. It's another situation. They don't have to do it. Okay, they could just, you know, stay. Don't go past 1 year. You know, that's a rule, because if you stay outside for more than 1 year, then it becomes a barrier for you to re-enter the United States, and immigration can create objections. Okay, but generally, you know, I don't recommend over 6 months. I say stay less than 6 months, and make sure you have ties to the United States, meaning you're paying your taxes, you have a bank account, you have a driver's license, you have like other things that you're doing and so forth. Okay, all right. Let's look at more questions that people are asking. Again, if you're a citizen, you can travel. You know, a lot of people have been asking me this question over and over again. I'm a citizen. Can I travel? You're fine.